Good morning on day 209 on the Pacific Crest Trail. Well, I can finally say good morning because we're down off of that windy mountaintop where we camped last night, which was absolutely beautiful view, but we were up over 7,000 feet after climbing up out of Ashland at I think 4,700. So we are on our way to Sayad Valley, our next resupply, and we should actually be in California tonight or tomorrow. So we're moving along slowly. We're old, but we're on the way. See you down trail. It is so beautiful up here. So last night, my sleeping pad started to leak, very slow leak, which is usually how they start. So when we got to our first water source about 3.7 miles in, I had a little signal and called REI, and they wouldn't be able to ship one for like over a week. And in the meantime, a gentleman came down the trail named Mike and said, "Do you guys need something? I got Starlink in my truck if you're having trouble getting a signal, and or whatever you need a ride into Ashland." And we're like, well, as a matter of fact, a ride into Ashland would be awesome. So we're at a dirt road crossing, and he was going the opposite direction to get back to his truck, and will be picking us up, and we are heading back to Ashland before we get on trail.
Well, we really only started crossing these roads. So I can see this from the trail, not the fence. Yeah.
So it's about 4 o'clock, and we are right back on trail where we left off a few hours ago. And thanks to Mike, I have a brand new sleeping pad. He brought us into the REI in Medford and then took me to the post office to mail the old one home. And we are back on trail. Thank you so much, Mike. And the message you just saw in the dirt is for Mike, because he's actually coming back up here to hike this section of trail tomorrow. So hopefully you caught that, Mike. All right, let's see if we can get a few more miles in before the sun goes down. But at least I know I will be sleeping comfortably and not have to wake up and blow up my air mattress in the middle of the night. See you down trail. Well, we're just taking a little break at what we hope is the top of this climb. But what an incredible view. We met an older hiker on the way up the climb, and he looked at us and said, "It's pretty far, but you're gonna make it." about 6 o'clock, the sun is setting, and we're going to try and find the first campsite we can find. The next site on Far Out is not for several miles, like 6 miles, so we're definitely not going to shoot for that, but hopefully we'll get down off of this ridge here and find something flat. That's what we're looking at now. Okay, it looks like we did finally reach the top of this climb. It is 6,800 feet. Well, we're less than half a mile to the next water source, and we're going down finally, and hopefully we'll find some level ground, enough space to fit the Taj Mahal. See you down trail. Well, that looks like our campsite down there. It's getting late, about 7:30. Okay, we are wrapping up day 209. And although we did about the same number of miles, today was a much nicer day. Coming out of Ashland yesterday, we were both really dragging. I think we just stayed up too late at the hotel. And there was a lot of climbing. Not a lot of climbing today, too, but it didn't seem quite as bad. It was more gradual. But my last night, I was having trouble with my contact, and it's not the optimal sanitary situation to be digging around in your eyes. And it was just weird. It was a long, tiring day yesterday, and in the middle of the night, I got up and I had to reinflate my sleeping pad, which developed a slow leak. So, and in the morning, it was super cold. But once we got on trail, it got a whole lot better. We were trying to order a new sleeping pad to get shipped to where we're heading, Syad Valley, which is still about 41 miles out.
We got a signal.
Yes.
And don't move a muscle, because if you move 2 inches one way or the other,
you'll lose
done.
the call. And so we reached out to REI, but it would take them forever to get the pad to our next stop. And then we reached out to Stephen and Marie, who were like, they were just ready to jump on it to help us out once again.
Mm-hmm.
But shortly after that text exchange, we ran into a trail angel on trail. And that was Mike, who I explained earlier had offered to help us out, and drove us all the way to Medford. And we were on a very remote backcountry, bumpy dirt road. So it was not just a short trip for him. And Mike has recently retired just last month. Congratulations again, Mike. But he chose to use his newfound freedom to haul us all around, took us into Medford, went right to the REI, even stopped to go a real cup of coffee. And Mike doesn't even drink coffee. And then he took me to the post office so I could mail the old leaky mat home. So, Mike, if you're watching, thanks again. A true trail angel.
It was tremendous.
Yeah, it was. And he brought us right back to where he picked us up down that long, bumpy dirt road. And we managed to get some miles in. And the trail was pretty nice. It was a lot of hills, but they were gradual. So we managed to crank out another 10 miles, even with that almost 4 hour
5 hour
midday break.
We spent an hour on the side of the trail trying to make phone calls and get things
true.
done.
Yes.
And then we spent 35 or 40 minutes at the end of the trail. Mike had to hike out and get in his truck and come get us. And then we spent 4 hours going in
driving
Medford
around
and coming back. So I'm guessing we had about 5.5 hours of downtime.
Yeah. But the hiking was nice.
Yep, and we hit the trail at 6 o'clock, and we were able to knock out the other 6 miles or so that we had to do.
And we are very thankful to have found this campsite near this water source. A little slopey, but we're making it work. And it was getting late, as you can see, if you can even see us now. The video's pretty dark. It is definitely hiker midnight. So full day. We're heading to Syed Valley, and we should be in California one of these days. It's California or bust. So
we're told it's about 15, 18 miles away.
So that's a wrap for tonight.
See you down trail.
Have a great night.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.